Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an all-new episode of The Chasen Show. My name is Seth Chase, and your host, obviously. And today I've got with me a very special guest. He runs the meme page St. Dabbers, Levi Fuck, I had it.
Adix, you got it.
Adix. I had it. How's it going, man?
It is going absolutely wonderful. Meme page is doing really good. How are you? Thanks so much for having me on. This is
No problem,
wonderful.
man. It's been a long time coming. I think I first reached out to you probably when this thing first started.
Yeah,
And then we just weren't able to do it, and then eventually, finally we found time. So yeah, we've both had finals this week.
yes.
So I know during finals you'd put on your story like, "Hey, look, I'm taking finals, taking a break, no editing." Tell me
Yeah.
what made you start St. Dabbers? I know that's a huge meme page. 90.7 I think last time I checked.
Yeah, we're at 91.7 right
Hell
now.
yeah,
So
hell yeah.
we're
That's
going
like a
pretty
week.
fast.
That's a week. That's a 1K in a week.
I know,
Holy shit.
definitely. I switched to reposts lately, but what made me start St. Dabbers all the way back when this is 2014. I absolutely loved iFunny. It was like my favorite thing in the world. And my friend and I wanted to make our own videos, if that makes sense. So I got into editing. I learned how to just do a few transitions here and there, add some ear rape audio. And it actually was Mick Dabbers. And because I wanted to make it like a burger, like from McDonald's. And I have no clue. This is my 14-year-old brain. And now, however many years later, I actually was like, oh, this can become a thing. And so I started editing, and then I started doing original content only. And now I've gone back to repost. But then it just became St. Dabbers somewhere in that 6-year mix. But it's really just to have fun and just to mess around with my friend. So yeah,
So I know that's become a huge part of your life, I'm assuming. What goes
yes.
into editing videos and what goes into like planning what you post?
Sure, sure. Okay, so this is actually an awesome question, and I'm gonna have to direct a lot like my followers to for sure come listen to this because everyone asks me every freaking day how my editing process. First of all, the first thing I do is well, I should say I make what is called 21st century humor. That's what it's deemed, or it's also called shit posting. I don't know
Yeah.
if I can swear.
Dude, this podcast, you should if you probably could, if you counted all the poor choice of language I use, you've got $1 for every curse word that I've said. You probably have to be a millionaire at this point.
There you go, there you go. Well, let's get that money. Um, when so yeah, it's 21st century meme or shit posting. What it's called. Pretty much, you just take a bunch of random audio, a bunch of random video, mash it together, put some music over it, try and give it some sort of like formality, so it's not just random. Or some people do complete random. So what I do is I first start looking for videos. So while I'm searching through Instagram or Twitter or TikTok, I will save the videos that I find. I'm like, oh, that's a random funny video I could throw into the 21st century edit. Then I go on YouTube, I find some audios. That usually takes like 20 to 30 minutes. And then the editing part, I just throw it all together. That could be anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, depending.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, you watch it and it's 5 seconds of just visual, seizure. And there could be like an hour and a half, well, I mean, not trying to make this, me asking you a bunch of questions. I know it's your show, but how long does it take you like to edit the podcast usually?
Honestly, depending on how many gaffes and just how many like mess ups I have, usually it takes me like 5 minutes. I'll usually because I know
Oh, nice.
most of it's good audio, and
Mhm.
sometimes I want to have the more realistic, unless someone wants something taken out. Like for example, when we first started the show, it was me and my buddy, and then he kind of started letting me take the reins. He was unable to go to do an episode one time, and I usually did the editing, and he just came in, showed up, and was the co-host, and
Sure,
one of
sure.
one of my guests, who was actually my cross country coach last year, he made a comment that he didn't want. It was funny, and it was funny at the time, but he's like, now listening back, I don't want that to reflect on the school. So if you could
Oh.
just take that out. So that was basically the most editing I've ever done. It's just not that. And then, when it comes to like editing other things, like I'll take more pride and effort into it. This is just like, okay, well, it's a podcast. So like, it's meant to have those like real life moments where you mess up or you have
Oh,
a
totally.
quick gaff. And I try to keep it as real as possible on here, but like if I'm editing YouTube videos, if I'm editing some other stupid shit, like I'll make sure it's like, you know, 100% perfect before I release
Sure.
it.
Yeah, well, no, that makes sense. You cannot out the track coach. That's a no-no.
Yeah,
That's
no.
like rule number 5 of podcasts. Everyone knows. But I think the sign of a good podcast is low editing. I definitely think that's like the fact that you're able to just talk, have a genuine conversation. So,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
yeah, I mean, 5 minutes. I wish it was 5 minutes, but it usually takes like 30 minutes to an hour, I'd say, per meme.
and
That's about
how do you decide like what the theme of that video is going to be? Because I know there's a lot of shit thrown in there, and
yeah.
like a lot happening at 1 second. How do you just like make this will look good together, or is it just like, okay, so I have a plan for this, this, and this?
The actual formula is so random depending on what I'm editing that I don't even I wouldn't even like I don't think it's smart to try and be like, oh, do this because every single time I make one, it's different. But I can give you an example. So let's say I find a video of a dog making a weird face, right? That might be the centerpiece of this video. So I'd either put it more like at the front or back. If it's like the longer, bulkier part, then I'll find some interesting music to play over it. I'm trying to think theme. How do I find the theme? I wouldn't say there's a theme so much as there's a start point. I'll find a video like a dog with a funny face, and that'll be the staple. I'm like, I could build something around this. That makes sense.
So it's
Then I
more
just want to
like
make it smaller.
it's more like, okay, so this is what I want. This is will be good base piece. And then you're just kind of building it up from there.
Yeah, totally.
Like
It's
that either goes with it or
Yes, totally. It's like a sandwich, but it's like instead of having like two
it's the
pieces
meat
of bread,
first.
yeah, I just exactly throw a bunch of it in, and eventually it looks like a sandwich. So
Yeah. I mean, so and so this is throwing it back a little bit. So you had the series where you killed off multiple cartoon characters.
yeah,
What was that
yeah, oh
about?
yeah, oh gosh, what was the question? Sorry.
So what was that about, and how did that come about?
Okay, so for anyone listening who does not know at all anything about my meme page, I love kind of like eras. I try and make it like arcs of a show. And so right now we're in the 21st century arc where I'm making that specific type of meme. Well, there was definitely an arc where I made car crash memes, and any OG fans know of these car crash memes. That all started because one day I saw a video called Wario Dies in Vietnam. And it was a helicopter with its mayday signal just like go moo, 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 and somebody with a Wario voice going, oh my God, and then a giant crashing sound killed me. I thought it was hilarious. And I was like, you know what? Take out the helicopter. That could be a car crash. So, so then I put some music in and I was like, Wario dies in a car crash while listening to Ed Sheeran. And like, a million views later, I figured I'd make 10 more of those videos. It definitely died out. Usually when my arc starts to like die out, I'll switch it up. But it's dead by now. But maybe someday I'll bring it back.
Because you had this like whole thing of like, guess who it is? Guess who it is? Did anyone ever guess who it was?
Yeah, totally. No, 100%. I was trying to hint at the last three I made that it was the Geico Gecko for insurance reasons, because I want I the storyline of it is that the Geico Gecko is killing off these famous people so that the public is more inclined to buy car insurance. That
That's actually smart though.
Thank you, car and life insurance. That was 100% what I was going for. I didn't come up with that until the third or fourth one, but I knew I wanted to start putting little hints. So in some of the videos, you can find like the Geico's tail, the Geico Gecko's tail, this or that. But I had like 3 or 4 people totally type out the plot. And they're like, this is exactly what you're doing, isn't it? I'm like, yeah, thank you so much. You know?
And because I remember like there was one, and I forgot what it was, a car, and it was almost in a ditch, and it was hitting like the tree. I forgot who it was, but
Yeah.
because you had like a hint. It was like a black car, and it was dark, so you couldn't really see anything. If you know what I'm talking about. It's
I what was the hint? Do you remember the hint?
I don't remember because it was something. I think a lot of people were saying it was something in the back, like towards the tail end of the car.
Yeah, maybe I probably put was that the Toad one? Was that the Toad?
Actually, that might have been. I don't know because that was a
Who
while.
knows?
But yeah, that was a while ago. And I remember I knew I specifically was like, there's got to be something right in the background. I thought I saw something in the back window, and I don't remember what it was. But that was definitely an error. That was probably one of the like I still find that funny today. It's like
Thank you. Thank
killing
you. The whole
cartoon
lore of it.
characters. Yeah, like honestly, I've got a horrible sense of humor, and if fuck, if my parents saw my camera roll, they'd be disappointed in me.
To
Like,
say the least.
to say the least, yeah. I mean, like my camera roll is horrible. Like anyone who finds themselves in my camera roll, I feel bad for.
You feel bad? Oh my
I
gosh.
that like I'll send like random fucking memes, like all like I have, and I'm sorry to anyone who gets offended by this, but I have a whole there's a Kurt Cobain meme that I found,
Oh
and
gosh.
it was this little girl holding a shotgun to her chin. It said, "Look, mommy, I'm Kurt Cobain."
Wow.
It's awful. Among the
Wow.
like other kind of low key, kind of like racist memes I have in my phone, it's
You have a
bad.
bunch of them?
I have a bunch of them. Like I get either get them from my friends. I actually was on Reddit last night at like 12 o'clock at night looking through memes, laughing so hard. I'm like, my parents. I hope my parents didn't hear me, but I was laughing like I was trying to keep it low, but I was laughing so fucking
The
hard.
laughs are, I'm 100% a firm believer in like comedy like does not make you a bad person. Now, granted, like on my or your sense of comedy does not make you a bad person because we live in a world now where people get to pick and choose what they think is funny. I think that's ridiculous. You cannot because it's like, oh, this person dies and we all hated this person. We can joke about it. This person dies and I was a fan. You can't joke about that. That to
Yeah,
me is just I think that is so stingy and just like sucking the fun out of life. One of the big things I try and tell my followers is don't be that guy or that girl. Don't be that person that judges comedy. If you didn't laugh, that's fine, keep scrolling. But the person who don't be the buzzkill. Don't be the person at the party who's like, you're gonna laugh at that. To me, that's just that why suck the fun out of it? Because the moment you start with something the moment you start, you're not going to stop, and then
yeah,
sooner or later you're going to be complaining about anything unless it doesn't make you laugh. It's just ridiculous.
yeah. I
Why
mean,
find fun in everything?
yeah, like and kind of going piggybacking off of that, like the state of comedy has to be, especially meme comedy, has to be kind of strained today because people PC culture people like to poke like say, oh, that's not funny, you can't do that. How do you and would you say other meme pages kind of get around that?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I actually know a lot of meme pages. You have to decide when you are making your memes, you have to decide whether you're going to be edgy or not. There is no middle ground because it is completely different clientele. I shouldn't say different, but if you make yourself an edgy meme page, you're going to be labeled as it. All it
Yeah,
takes is one meme to get canceled, so to speak. So the way to get around it is first of all decide whether or not you're even going to get involved in that realm. I obviously don't. I try and the most like air quotes offensive thing I ever did was I compared Mecha. Do you know Mecha?
yeah.
Yes, that I compared that that black cube to the Xbox X.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, and
I do remember that.
my comments were getting lit up with how sacrilegious and disrespectful that was. I didn't even want to play the game. Obviously, how many hundreds of, thousands of people thought it was hilarious. But I
Yeah,
didn't even want to play the game, so I just took it. I didn't want to play other games, so I just took it down, whatever. And but you got to decide whether or not you're going to be edgy or not. So a lot of meme pages just choose no. Um, and then you just have to make memes that aren't offensive. So how do you get around it? You just don't do it. I don't think I've ever once since I've remodeled my page, like 2 years ago, I don't think I've ever once posted anything that could be seen. I mean, I post people getting hit, but that's not
that's
everyone
not
messes with
offensive.
that.
I mean, some people like are too anal about that, and
Oh yeah,
because I remember TikTok. I was on TikTok for a while, and I had grown. I had got like, I think it was within the span of I think a month. I had gotten like almost three or was it 2,000 followers? I think, and because I was posting
wow,
offensive memes, like I was, the like this the highly recommended private story names. So
yeah.
like almost close to 16 videos of just horrible shit, like stuff that like the first like three were stuff that I had made up, but the rest of them were like stuff the comments were saying. Like some of them was like as it like fuck. There's like one's about Anne Frank. It was shit that was
Oh
like
gosh.
yeah, and I mean those did not get any flack. But the minute I posted a video, it was one of my last videos, and I kind of got canceled, if you will. I did a stupid dance. It was going like this, and then because it was "Kill All Men," that was the audio, and I'm like, "Hey boys, let's get to the top of this. Let's ruin this song." And holy shit, the amount of femcel feminazis that came into my comments, like snowflakes, were I had easily like close to 100, probably 100,000 comments. Some of it was from the boys, you know, hyping me up. Some of it's from the femcels. Some of it was from people who are just pissed off for no reason. And I
You
had
were
people
saying get rid of the kill all men audio?
exactly,
That
and
was the joke?
exactly. I can send it to you. I have it on my phone. It's so stupid. And these people, and like I was getting death threats. People threatening to dox me. People like threatening the life of my family.
Oh
I'm
my
like, what the
gosh.
fuck? Like how
Dude.
sad do you have to be? Like that video got close to like 500K I think views, and they keep on commenting and commenting. I'm like, bro, you're keeping me in the algorithm, man. I'm riding high.
Yeah,
And
they
I
keep
eventually,
commenting.
I eventually turned off the comments because it was getting so bad to the point where I deleted TikTok like 3 times, but I didn't delete my account. I just deleted the app so that I didn't have to see the comments and shit. And then I upload it, and it just started blowing up again. It stopped when I deleted the app, and then when it just started blowing up again. And I was getting all these follows from all these people, but at the same time, it just wasn't worth people like threatening me. And they were going to my Instagram, they were commenting on my Instagram posts, they were commenting on my YouTube, and they
Wow.
were DMing me. They're like, the one was, oh my god, she left me like 20 messages telling me how much of an asshole I am, how I should kill myself, and that stuff. I'm like, bro, like it's literally a joke, and it's okay if you don't find it funny. As you said, keep scrolling. Like it doesn't matter. And like they're calling me like racist for. I'm like, bro. And then people were making videos about me, like they were reacting to that video. A lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, this is so funny," hype this up. Some of them were like literally trying to get trying to get in my head. They weren't getting in my head, but the one like roasted my appearance. She roasted fucking everything. I'm like that's I told her that's funny. Like good job on that one. And she's like, "Oh, go fuck yourself." So I said, "Okay, you want to play this game, bitch?" So I reacted to her video, and she called me like said I looked like a monkey and shit. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I told her her forehead looks like it's the size of Mount Everest. You can land a plane on that motherfucker.
Okay.
Your chin is or your jaw is so fucking huge, full because it's full of the shit that comes out of your mouth, and just a couple other things. And I roasted the fuck out of her, and she's like, "I'm lesbian. You can't make fun of me." I'm like, so I put on my MAGA hat and I'm pissing. I pissed, dude. Oh my god, the amount of hate I got for that video too. I had to take that one down. I'm like, yeah, no. And
Wow.
then I eventually just deleted the app. It was August 15th, 2020 is when my channel or my fucking TikTok finally ended. I'm like riding
Right.
high for a while, and I'm like, I'm done. I cannot deal with this. And then I was, I still kind of want to go back, but at the same time, it's just, and my friend's still on there, and he's like, dude, cancel culture is not like it's
It's
so much
exactly
worse.
right. That's exactly right. Cancel culture. So here's my deal. I was raised in a very, very Christian household. I mean, Saint Dabbers. The name itself of my account comes from the idea of like a saint, which in like my denomination, which is Lutheranism or whatever, is just a believer. A
Yeah,
saint, right? Saint Dabbers. So, anyways, um, I was raised in a household that's very much, more like right leaning and all that stuff. But just don't be rude, don't offend people. So what blows my mind is this. Like you want to be nice. That's my point.
yeah,
But what blows my mind is they don't come after the Anne Frank jokes. They don't come after that crap, like you said, or anything like an Anne Frank comment. No, but the moment you say something that could be like rallied behind and cancel culture could stuck onto, you're done. And it just blows my mind that it's like something that you'd think would be, like you said, your post that you'd think would be way more offensive. No, the one that's offensive is when you actually spread love, which is don't
yeah.
hate men, don't kill all men. The message you spread a message of love, that's what gets attacked, and that's what goes to show people like you and me that they're they're not actually doing it because they like think that they're just doing it to cancel something. They're doing it to get behind somebody, and it's so sad. I'm sorry you got caught in the crossfire.
Honestly,
I
it's probably the best thing because I was addicted to TikTok. Like that, it was
Oh
bad.
yeah.
I would spend hours on that app, and
Oh, it's
it was
addicting.
not safe. It's addicting.
It is addicting. It's designed to be addicting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like, man, like like I'm still in shock that like some of those videos that I posted, like even today, like even right now, if I were to post them right now, like they would still be considered highly offensive. And I probably, if people took it the wrong way, then they could, like, and I didn't get any negative comments on those videos. So I'm hoping that, like, if I go and go, do something with my career and actually have a name for myself, that people will pull those up and say, "Hey, look, he's racist."
Yeah.
Those can be easily like twisted as being racist, but I didn't do it as an intent to be racist. I'm just,
No, 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 not at all. Of course not.
I mean, because it's fun to kind of tiptoe the line in what you can and cannot do, because then you get a reaction out of people. And I think that's where
Oh,
a lot of
sure,
shock comedy comes from. And I
sure.
think that is something that, like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle, he's isn't kind of annoying, but he's so funny. He's one of the funniest comedians because he doesn't give a shit. Like, and a lot of these, like Bill Burr, also funny.
Oh, yeah,
Bert
yeah,
Kreischer, super fun. I love his like he just tells how much of a horrible father he is, and he's so
yeah,
funny. And
yeah.
I feel like, we need more comedians who are just unafraid and unapologetic to kind of like say what they want to say, not tiptoe around like just the same jokes. Because once you kind of run out of the offensive jokes, like it's just gonna be the same joke over and over again.
It is. It is. It's gonna be the same joke all over and over again. And all at the same time, we live in a world where people don't want you to say something that they don't want to hear, which is the worst thing ever. My mom always said growing up, if everybody you hang out agrees with you 100%, they're not your friends, you're in a cult. And we live in a world now where everyone wants to, not everyone, a lot of people want to be in a cult. They only want to associate with those who think exactly the same. That's hive mind. That doesn't develop creativity. That doesn't develop individuality. That all that does is harness like I said, a hive mind and just dumb, and you're not going to go anywhere with that. You need thinkers. You need people who think outside the box. You need people who don't fit into the status quo to break the status quo. And so it's just so counterintuitive to all these people who want change and they want the world to be more inclusive. And to do that, they're going to get rid of everything that doesn't agree with them.
Yeah, and I feel
It's
like,
sad.
yeah, I mean, I feel like, we need comedy is what brings people together.
Oh,
It's
100%.
not it's not, radical change in policy. It's not a radical change in society. It's comedy, right? If there's
Yeah.
something that we can all laugh about, like Lizzo jokes, all right? I posted one in a group chat. Everyone thought it was funny except for one person. And that person went off on me about how I'm fat shaming, I'm racist, I'm this ist and that ist, and I'm like, look, it's just a joke. Like it was I think I actually think I sent that to you. It was the Spotify one where it says,
Maybe I don't remember.
I think it was like it was it was like weight 400, good songs 0, spirit animal walrus or something like
Oh
that.
wow.
And everyone thought it was funny because no one likes Lizzo. She's an idiot, and it, she has no good songs. She's not talented, and it's good to poke jokes at her, but people take it too hard. People, it's like the old saying: it's a joke, not a dick. So don't take it so hard.
Oh yeah. It's no, I just wish we could live in a world where pe- people weren't trying to like it's hard because people want attention but they don't want negative attention, but at the same time negative attention a lot of the times is lighthearted and it's just like
Yeah,
it's just I don't know. It's I agree. Comedy, some of the best comedians out there are ones who you have all these comedians that tiptoe the line, and then the best comedians are the ones that they don't see a line.
yeah.
They're
I
like,
mean,
I'm gonna joke about what I think is funny because everyone thinks it's funny. And if anybody comes and said it's not funny, they're lying and they're just trying to get attention.
yeah, like the old YouTube is what was like. You got the Filthy Franks, the old iDubbbz. Nothing. I mean, he's still kind of funny, but he's not as funny as he used to be.
Oh, I was gonna bring up iDubbbz. I was gonna say his whole one of the big things with this argument that I grew up with, how many like 3 or 4 years ago was the content cop and the Tana Mongeau
That was
when
so funny.
when iDubbbz got called out for saying a word and his idea was it okay, they're either all okay or they're not okay. And if
Yeah,
and if you're gonna say if you're gonna be the person to say one of them's not okay, then somebody else is gonna come along and call the next one not okay, and sooner or later you can't say anything offensive. And that's just again that goes back to that hive mind. You just only want people to hang out with you that think the same. Who wants that? Why would you want that?
my I remember at lunch, right? My friends, all of them were. I think it was like me and then three liberals, right? And we would talk politics all the time. Like that's what we did. And You know, we're still friends today. The amount of times we've yelled at each other during lunch, well, not yelled, but like raised our voice at each other at lunch was insane. But you know, we're still friends because we, you know, don't think alike,
Oh
and
yeah,
but we have common jokes. We all thought offensive, like, you know, right, low key, like sort of offensive racist jokes were funny. And it come like to a point where I would kind of go more like think they're funnier, and then they would kind of be like, but they still think it's funny. If that makes sense.
sure.
But you know, like, you know, we're still friends. I feel like people need to realize, like, hey, look, we can all be friends here. Just like, you know, it's okay if you don't find something funny. Just move on to the next thing. Find something that we'll think is funny. I
Yeah.
feel like people need to realize that.
Well, no, I think we do need to realize that. And one thing you're saying is like if you say like low key offensive or like low key racist, obviously no one wants racism. No
Yeah,
one wants legitimate racism. We want to be able to laugh and joke about our differences. And there's a big difference because if somebody comes up to me, if I'm dancing and it's terrible, and someone's like, look at this white boy dancing and hitting it terribly, that's funny. I
that
think
is
that's
funny.
hilarious. I don't think that's racist. You know, if it's legit that I look like some stupid white boy, that's not racist. And so I don't even think it's low key racism or low key offensive. It's just that these people out there are choosing to categorize it as that.
Yeah,
And that makes me so sad because you have legitimate people out there who hate people for the color. I'm not obviously like in America we are very blessed, but especially you go to other countries, you have people out there who legitimately hate others for the color of their skin. They look at somebody and just because of how they look, they want them gone or see them as less than. And it breaks my heart that you're going to categorize somebody who said, "Look at this white boy dancing," in the same. Well, they probably wouldn't get categorized if they said that,
yeah.
but
But
you know what I mean.
if we're, you know, the other
You're
way
gonna
around.
you're gonna categorize somebody. If you're gonna put somebody like that in the same category as like somebody in like the KKK, 30 years ago, or 60 years ago, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like that's absurd. That's absurd.
yeah. Like, I mean, look, we've all made very offensive jokes, borderline like stuff that shouldn't probably be said. But that's the it's good to be able to make offensive jokes and to laugh at other people's differences, and then as long as you know, they can laugh at your differences. And I feel like honestly, I couldn't care less what someone calls me or what someone jokes about me if it's legitimately funny. And you know, they make fun of my beard, or they make fun of this, or they make fun of you know, anything else. You know, I think it's funny unless it's like actually demeaning. They're actually going out of their way. Like my friends, we verbally abuse each other on a daily basis, and it's the funniest thing ever. Like you should have seen the group chat the other night. We all work together at the same place, and you know, I'm the oldest of the group. I'm 19, and they're like they're senior in high school, sophomore in high or junior in high school, and then another senior in high school. And so you know, I've got ADHD, so my comedy level's kind of a little younger than what theirs are, because I find shit that probably shouldn't be funny at my age
Yeah.
funny. And you know, that's how we get along. We basically verbally abuse each other all the time, and we call each other like slurs all the time
Hmm.
because that's a joke, and we're not like doing it to be offensive or mean to each other. You know, it's just a joke. People need to realize that, like, they can't take things out of context. Like if I were to say a certain word, right, and it's offensive to a certain group of people, right, and if I'm using it in a sentence where it's like, you know, you're never gonna say use the N word and like, you know, what's up, my, you know, like that. That's not racist. But if you're going like, you know, you stupid, you know, if you're using it that way,
Oh,
then that's,
sure, sure.
I feel like context is definitely a big factor. And going back to
That's
iDubbbz,
that's
he uses as he says, an editorial context where he's not doing it to be offensive. He's just doing it to add flavor and add color to his videos. Whereas, you know, other people will look down on that. I feel like it's beautiful that, you know, certain people can say certain things and certain people can say other things. But I think we all should be able to say things, right? Like if, as long as we're not being offensive towards each other. If that point makes
oh,
sense.
I yeah, no, that makes total sense. I think um we've lost sense of intention and we look way too much at no, sorry. We don't look at intention enough. We think, "Oh no, it doesn't matter the intent. That's how it came out. That's how I take it. That's how I take it." I think that can be a very selfish and harmful way to think. wouldn't you want to, isn't it best to put yourself in their shoes? How are they saying it? Are they trying to make you smile? You know, I think it just it's just sad. But when it comes to, like St. Dabbers, I've just completely decided to just not even mess with it. I actually have a story about TikTok too. Um,
Go ahead.
so when I was on TikTok, I have St. Dabbers on TikTok. Obviously, I have like 9,000 followers right now. I don't post that often, but I've posted most of my original memes, and it grew pretty good. And so I posted a video. I was at 2,000 followers at the time. I posted a video of this little kid. He's 2 years old, baking with his grandma. It's an actual YouTuber called like Cooking with Cade. It's a 2 year old, and he cooks with his grandma, and he is just super disrespectful for a 2 year old. They obviously don't discipline him because he's just grabbing the eggs and grabbing everything. I put some editing music over it. I said "devil baby," and then like I sped it up with this babies and this grandma screaming at it. It's hilarious. It's not at all to hurt this family's feeling. And, spoiler alert, I didn't get involved with the family. That's not what happened. I posted on TikTok. Every single comment just wanting to kill this baby, wanting to just annihilate this baby, saying, "Who raised this baby? Disgusting baby, kill this baby." I'm like, okay, wait a second. And that video got 2.3 million views before I just took it down. And I took it down for the sake that if it got back to that family, I don't want that family coming after me like you're mongering hate. It
Yeah.
made me nervous. My point is, you got 2.3 billion views of people wanting to, like, commenting on killing a 2 year old. But no, your video on you wanting to take down a audio like that is too much and too
Oh
harmful.
yeah.
I mean, and I'm these people. I'm looking at these people who are commenting. Like this baby needs to get off the face of the planet. I'm looking at these people, and they're the same people who would turn at that video you made. I mean, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they're the same people who would, well, there was also some who weren't. It was everybody, but a lot of the comments were from these, like, like Emily 16, like Taurus, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You're saying kill a baby, and then your next
I mean, it's
video
fine if
is
it's the Ice Age baby. Like, let's get
yes,
it right.
yes, not the Ice Age baby. Everybody listening, not the Ice Age baby. Obviously, I want him dead, dragged in the street. The kicking with Cade, he's adorable. He just is a little disrespectful turd, like every other 2 year old. But I guess they wanted to kill him. So I was like,
I mean, if it's the Ice Age baby, it's fine. It's gonna be
yeah, of course.
the amount. Like, I actually, so when I was up at school, college last year, one of my buddies, and shout out to Patrick, and he was actually on the podcast. He was actually the first guest of the Chasen Show when it turned into the Chasen Show.
Oh,
So I remember he was driving me to, I think, Walmart, because I didn't have a car at the time, and
hmm
I put a picture on Snapchat, and I put the Ice Age baby right in front of the car. I'm like, look, and I tagged him, look, Patrick, I think we know what we need to do. Like, honestly, that baby like pisses me off. I don't know why.
oh yeah,
I mean, I think with every cartoon, there's something that pisses you off. It's like, either there's not something that's not realistic, but like with that baby, like the amount of times that they could have just smashed its skull in.
it's just destroyed it.
I
I
know.
see my These are my favorite type of memes. The ones where I love memes that require I love memes that don't require context, like the crap I post where it's just like you just watch it and you either laugh or you don't. I love memes though that take steps to explain. So my fiance, she lives with some roommates and she has this one friend who just does not get memes. And I love that I can show her a picture of the Ice Age baby and then like I show it to her and I show it to my fiance and my fiance goes, "I want to kill it." She goes, "What are you talking about? What? I don't get it. Is that the baby from Ice Age?" I love that. That kills me.
I actually came across a meme last night, and I sent it to a group chat,
Mhm.
and almost everyone got it. It was a picture of The Rock, and it was paper, and then it was two lesbians, and I guess you,
Oh, sure,
and
sure, sure.
then this and had a school. I guess you can. I'm assuming you can guess where that's going. It had like the
Oh, I
rock,
got you. I
paper,
got you.
scissors, shoot,
Yeah.
and so this kid goes, "I don't get it. Like, why are there two girls standing next to each other?" I'm like, "Dude, you're like 19. You should know."
You
Like,
should understand what's going on.
and I laughed so fucking hard. I put it on. I have a private story where I just post either offensive shit or I just do stupid. I just say stupid
hmm
shit on there. I actually went on a whole rant the other day, but that's beyond the point.
hmm
It was so funny because I posted that meme and I had like 10 people screenshot it. 'Cause like they're sliding out my story like, dude, that's so fucking funny. I've
Hmm.
got like I found like 20 memes that like I really wanted to put on, but like I selected people that I know aren't gonna get offended and I know that
Sure.
think that shit's funny. And like there's one that might be a little risky.
Hmm.
It was again one of those kind of racist memes, and which is fine if it's not like actually being really directed at someone, but
It's a meme. Yeah, you're saying it's a meme about race, but but it's poking fun at our differences, and it's in no way making somebody less than because of
yeah. And I almost posted it. I'm like, you know what? I think someone in the story will probably get upset at that, and I don't really want to deal with that.
it. Hmm.
Because I remember one time I used to put like a whole bunch of shit on my main story, but then I kind
Hmm.
of stopped because I'm like, it's annoying a lot of people. 'Cause, hell, one time I did the YOLO thing, and
Hmm.
I had like 60 snaps in one day, and I'm like,
Oh wow.
yeah, and I'm like, shit. Like I'm like, look, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how many I posted. Like, I'm sorry. And I was getting all these like messages like one out of people hating the shit I do, or like another one was like oh keep on doing what you're doing, or hi, or you're hot, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's just the boys messing around, but like the one that really got me was I did on Valentine's Day. I posted a picture on Snapchat of me and Jennifer Lawrence. I said, hey, look, it's my new girlfriend, Jennifer Lawrence. And I had to like five or I think it was almost like six snaps that day.
Hmm.
Just around my school, it was snowing that day too. So, we I went outside and like took a picture. It's like, look, Jennifer's enjoying the snow and shit like that. We went to the library, so I had to study for something.
Hmm.
I had her sit at the across from me at the library, like studying with Bay and shit
Oh
like that. It was
yeah.
so funny, and people found like because it's I don't know why, but people love to hate on self-deprecating humor. Self-deprecating humor is my like go-to. I will literally make jokes about committing suicide 24/7. And that like
Oh, jokes about like just jokes about yourself in
yeah.
general.
And like just making stupid jokes and poking stupid jokes. And I get it, a lot of people didn't find that funny, but I'm like, look, like it's just self-deprecating humor at that point. It's just like don't get offended by it. Don't get butthurt by it. I had like three people
Sure.
block me or some shit over it. I'm like bro, like what?
Oh, that's interesting. I think if you're gonna poke fun at anybody, the first person you should be able to poke fun at is yourself.
Yeah, I think the
My
first
that's
person you have to joke about is yourself in order to be able to poke fun at other people. You need to point out your flaws. You need to point out things wrong with
yeah.
you, and then you can poke jokes at people.
And also when it comes to jokes, I will say like there's definitely like when it comes to jokes, one of the reasons that makes jokes so funny and relatable is because there's truth to them. Like if you have a really or like those people who are like super skinny but they go around like I'm so fat and you're like no you're not like that's not funny. There's no
Yeah,
reality to it. Whereas if they're like dude I'm a stick bug, you're like you know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's funny.
Like
Like I'm short, and I always poke fun at my like height. My friend is
sure.
like I think like 6'3", I think. And the other day at work, he was drinking a water bottle, and that video of Shaq where he's drinking that water bottle and looks so tiny.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it looked just like that. I called him Shaquille O'Neal, and he's a white kid. He's a white kid. I called him Shaquille O'Neal. That's his new nickname.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the funniest fucking thing. He thought it was so funny because he's like, he didn't get it at first. I'm like, have you ever seen a video of Shaq like drinking the water and it looks so tiny and in iDubbbz words it's a little fucky, and and he's like, oh yeah, I know the video. I'm like, yeah, that's why you're Shaquille O'Neal. It's like, he's like, I thought I was good at basketball. I'm like, no, dude, you suck at basketball.
No.
But yeah, no, like honestly, I think being able to poke jokes and poke fun at people is like the best thing to do. Like,
Oh, definitely. And I think you learn a lot of life lessons from it. I think it also makes you better for criticism because if you just live with a bunch of yes men who never criticize you or never joke about you, that doesn't build up your defense mechanism and you can react like irrationally. So like for example, let's say you have like your group of guy friends. Guys just, they shoot the shit and they just joke with each other. They just give it to each other and they do that all the time. And for as much as some people might say that's unhealthy, that can actually prepare you for a life of, I mean, you're going to step into the workforce and you think people are going to be nicer? You think
oh
people are going to
no,
be nice there? Think they're not
God,
going to offend you there? It's going to be
I've
10
got
times
so
worse.
like I've got so many stories about that. Like especially Karen stories. Those are the best. Like I love
Yeah.
I love dealing with Karens. Like, and you know, we'll get to it after commercial break, because I think our commercial break is coming up here. At 3, 2. Oh shit, I'm gonna edit that out because I'm dumb.
That's all right.
But yeah, guys, we're gonna go to commercial break. We'll be right back after
We'll be right
this.
back.
Hey guys, so before we get into this episode, I would like to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, NIST, KNIST. They are an awesome slingshot company that I've been partnered with for quite some time, and they have opened up shop on their updated website at knist.online. I'm pretty sure you all know how to spell online, so I'm not going to spell that. So they sell slingshots, steel balls, and band sets. They just came out with a new slingshot called the Maverick. The original slingshot, the original NIST slingshot, is about $6.99 on their website. And they've got the band sets for $4.99. And they've also got a pack of steel balls for $8.99. So please go check them out. They're a great company, and they have some amazing slingshots. So take my word for it and go check them out. So with that being said, guys, go check them out now. Locks Hair Wax Company is an American company that is veteran owned and operated. Locks makes all natural grooming products that are handmade in small batches to ensure top quality control. These products consist of hair pomade, beard balms and oils, aftershave balm, even tattoo salve, and they have much more as well. Locks Hair Wax Company is for the sharp savage with a warrior ethos, a never quit spirit, and a cool hand attitude. Besides grooming products, they also offer a wide variety of apparel and accessories that embrace the American fighting spirit. If you too value what it takes and what it means to love this country, remember its roots, fight for it, work hard, and look sharp doing it, then head over to www.loxpomade.com and join the Locks train. Also, if you use code PressBox10 at the end of your order, then you will save 10% off your entire order. Stay sharp and stay savage. The Quit Bitchin' Coalition is a lifestyle brand for those who live their life on their own terms. Mavericks that don't quit, don't give in, ever. They are more than a clothing brand. They strive to help people in all facets of life. They believe in the saying, quote, do good while doing good, end quote. The Quit Bitching Coalition seeks to motivate people while providing badass, fashionable apparel. And as they like to say, fashion with an attitude. We are made for Mavericks. Guys, please head over to their website. It is www.quitbitchingcoalition.com. Use code PRESSBOX for 10% off your entire order on the website. So go on over and check them out and support their business. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show.
So we were right before the break. We were talking about Karen stories, right? I'm sure you have your fair share of Karen stories. But one of my favorite Karen stories was I was a manager at Rite Aid Corporation. Fuck you, Rite Aid Corporation. You're a horrible company to work for, and I don't give a shit who hears this. All right, I'll get that out. But I was shift manager there, and I remember it was one of my last shifts before I had quit, because they treated me awfully.
Mhm.
But one woman came in and she's like, "Oh, I would like to return this." I'm like, "Okay, ma'am. Let me just scan this real quick." I'm like, "Oh, well, ma'am, this doesn't belong to our store. This isn't an item that we sell here." And she's like, "Yeah, you do. It's right over there." I'm like, "No, it's not, ma'am. We don't sell this brand of iPhone charger here. Like, and plus it's open too, so we can't take it back right now." And she's like, "Oh, yes, you can." I'm like, "Well, ma'am, look, I'm the manager here right now. My supervisor, she quit, and then the other supervisor, our interim store manager, he's not here, and he lives an hour and a half away. So I'm sorry. Maybe you can come back another time, just dispute it or whatever." And she's like, "Well, this goes to your store." I'm like, "Well, it doesn't. It like this. We don't sell it here. If we sold it, it would come up in my system."
Mhm.
And she's like, "Well, then why did I buy it here? I have a receipt right here." And mind you, this was probably, I think, September. She handed me a receipt from May, or was it April? I think it was April. And I'm like, at that point, you can't even return it, even if you wanted to. And she's like, "I was here the other day." I'm like, "Man, this receipt's from April. That was almost 6 months ago. I can't do anything." And she's like, "Yes, you can." And I'm like, "No, ma'am, I can't." And she's like, "Well, you're the manager. You can just give me money." I'm like, ma'am, I can't. We don't sell this. And
That's
she's
not
like,
how it works,
I know,
dog.
I know. And she's like, you know, fine, fuck this. And she pushes her cart, nearly hits one of the poor women behind her, who's, mind you, dying. She's like laughing and like obviously under her breath, but she thought it was funny shit. She starts walking. I'm like, all right, thank you, man, for coming in. You have a wonderful night. Stay safe. And I gave, had the biggest, she couldn't see it under the mask, but, the big smile on my face. And she's like, and just storms out. And the funniest shit, like, Karens are some of the dumbest people. Like, it's so annoying because sometimes you have to dumb yourself down to their level when you have to deal with them.
hmm
And like sometimes I'm an asshole, so I like to kind of play a little bit. I like to play the game
hmm
and just kind of piss them off even more because
Sure.
it's funny. It's just funny to see Karen freak out. It's
Yeah.
so funny. And I mean, I've had plenty. I work at. I'm an unnamed company. I'm not gonna, unless they look back on this or they hear about this. I don't want them to, I get fired or whatever.
Yeah.
You know how it works. So, you know, and I work in the home of the Karens. So like, I haven't really had any bad experiences there. But like,
hmm
what a Karen experience have you had? And are you thinking about making any Karen memes?
Oh gosh. Funny enough, I just had a talk with my mom the other day about Karens. My mom is the sweetest woman in the world. She's just absolutely wonderful. And she was like, I get scared that I'm gonna be a Karen sometimes. I'm like, no, you're either born a Karen or you're not, mom. It's not gonna happen. You're fine. And some of my friends have Karen tendencies. I'm like, oh no! Like you go through the drive-through, and like they're like, I ordered 2 cheeseburgers, and I'm like, bro. But anyways, I'm like, watch out. That's gonna get worse. But no, I've actually, I don't want to say, when I say Karen, I mean like, I don't mean just women, because for me, where I'm working right now, obviously I won't say either, but for where I work, I get a lot more older, angry men that come in, and I work with the lottery, and oh my gosh, they think they know everything about the lottery. So there's this one person that comes in every single Saturday, and they come in and they like, I want this, 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 this. Says it really fast. And if you ask, what was that? Didn't you hear what I said? Can't you hear? Aren't you listening? Just sassing like crazy. And actually, fun story about this was today I was working and he said, oh, you did this wrong. It's supposed to be $12, not 9. I was like, oh, well, you asked for this and this, sir, so it's 9. No, it's not. Give it to me. And he reads it and he's like, oh, yeah, I guess it is supposed to be 9. Oh, well, then you just must have heard how many I asked. I asked for 4, not 3, because they were $3 a piece, and he wanted 3 of them, and he was thinking that they were $4 a piece, so he was thinking
Oh,
it'd be 12. And then when he found out he was wrong, instead of going, "Oh, dang it, my bad," he was like, "Oh, well, I actually asked for another one."
yeah, they don't ever apologize,
Like,
ever.
geez, dude, what is up your butt?
I remember one time I was a lifeguard at one of the pools in my area. It was an athletic club. So,
Oh, awesome.
obviously they're prissy and they're get
Yeah.
whatever they want. And the worst thing, the thing that pissed me off the most about this company was there were no rules. They just had guidelines that were easy to bend.
hmm
And this one guy comes in. He's a big Russian dude, like fat, big Russian dude, and it's
hmm
thundering outside, and it's clear as day outside. It's still thundering. We gotta close the pool.
hmm
And some guy comes in and he's getting ready to go in the pool. I'm like, sir, look, pool's closed right now. We can't, you can come back in like say 15, 20 minutes whenever the pool opens back up. And he's
hmm
like, okay. And he starts walking towards the hot tub. And I kind of turn around. I'm like, dude, my own business. I see him stepping in the hot tub. I'm like, sir, look, you can't step in the hot tub. Like, and he's like, you said the pool is closed. And I'm like, yeah, the pool is closed. And he's like, this isn't a pool. And I'm like, sir, the hot tub and the pool are closed.
Sir.
And he started getting mad at me. He's like, why is it closed? I'm like, sir, it's thundering outside. We just want to keep everyone safe. And he's like, well, I don't care. I want to do what I want. I'm like, well, sir, like the club can get fined, we can get fired,
hmm
and we can get fined by the Red Cross. We can fined from the state. We can be shut down.
hmm
I'm sure you don't want the place to be shut down. He's like, no, well, I want to get in the pool though. And I'm like, well, sir, like, we ask that you please go inside. He's like, well, I don't care if you get fired. I want to be in the pool. I'm like, sir, look, like he starts yelling at me, and like he's hard to understand because he's
Wow.
big, heavy accent, like Russian dude. And funny enough, at my next job, which was at Rite Aid,
Mhm.
he came in, and I'm like, oh shit, oh shit.
It's
I don't
the
think he remembered
guy.
me. Yeah, I don't think he remembered me though, but he wanted to sign up for we had a Rite Aid rewards card, and he wanted to sign
Mhm.
up for it. And I'm like, okay, sir. And I kept asking him to repeat it. I'm like, please don't yell at me. Please don't yell at me inside. And he was actually really cool though. But I don't know why it's different when he wants to get in the pool when he can't get in the pool. But then when I mess up on his name, because it was a really long, complex Russian last name, I'm like, God damn. It's not the normal Av that you see after every single Russian name.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was, but it was probably at least like 10 to 15 characters.
Oh wow.
It was crazy.
Wow.
Especially pool Karens. Pool Karens are the worst.
Oh,
They
pool
are.
Karen. Yeah, see, I wasn't a lifeguard, so I wouldn't know of a pool Karen. Do you have any good pool Karen stories?
So there was one woman who she was breastfeeding on the pool deck, mind you. So everyone saw her boobs,
Hmm.
and I mean I wasn't complaining, but
Yeah.
I had a couple older gentlemen come over to me. He's like, "Look, like I've got my grandkids here, and
Hmm.
we don't want to see that." And like
Yeah.
I'm like, "Look, sir, like there's not much I can do. As you know, obviously as a male, let me go call my manager over, and we'll see what we can get done. I'm sorry that He's like, okay, yeah, thank you so much for understanding. I'm like, yeah, I completely understand, man. I get my manager to come over. She's like, oh, well, we can't do anything. I can just make a statement to her, say, hey, look, like we asked that you don't do that on the pool deck, but like you're not allowed to. It's just kind of upsetting some of the members. And she goes, like the woman who's breastfeeding goes, well, I can do this wherever I want. I'm a free woman. I'm like, and she's like, yeah, yes, you are, but we have some complaints from our members, and we just want to make sure that they're happy as well as you are.
Hmm.
And she goes, you know what? Well, if I want to have my boobs out, I can have my boobs out anywhere. And mine, her 10-year-old son is sitting right next to her, and
Yeah.
it's like, bruh, like,
So so let me get this straight. So when someone else is being offensive, they need to stop what they're doing. But when you're doing something that could be construed as offensive, you get to keep doing it.
yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's a double
It doesn't.
standard that we
It's
have.
like pick a lane. Pick a lane. Either let's all not offend each other, or
Exactly, it goes right back to our comedy.
yeah, exactly. I like either pick a lane. Either we can all not offend each other, and we can all live in this like little, all live in our little bubble wrap world, or we can all um, do what we want and do what we please. And if you have a problem, look the other way. And so it just makes me laugh that then when it comes to because that makes me laugh. I've heard about that before, the whole breastfeeding in public, because obviously as an adult I'm more like, I'm like you do you, but at the same time if there's somebody who's truly uncomfortable by it, especially like if I have kids, yeah, like I don't, especially if I have like a little like horny 13-year-old boy, I don't, it just, that
It'll
to
be
me is
like
not.
having a mental picture and just taking to the bathroom.
I exactly. Well, and not even me. I don't have to speak for myself. If somebody else finds that uncomfortable, then by your own rules and your own logic, shouldn't you stop?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
but
it is
I
a
don't
free
know.
country, and I guess like they feel like they can do whatever they want, and it's honestly sad to see that the double standard that we have like in comedy. Like you see Lele Pons, she's not even funny, yet people think she's funny just because she's a woman. I'm like, no, she's not funny. She has a very like I was actually being called Lele Pons after that video because I at the end of the video I made a face where I had the camera zoom in on my face, went did like stupid like derp face and was like
Yeah.
going up and down, and people were calling me Lele Pons. I'm like, well, first off, I'm actually funny. I'm like Lele Pons. And they're like, "Well, no, you're not." And I'm like, "Well, again, comedy is relative. Like, you don't have to laugh at my jokes. Then you can just get the fuck out of here. Like, I don't
Hmm.
really care." But if people genuinely want to laugh at my jokes, and I know a lot of my jokes are stupid. Like I can barely make my parents laugh, but like I make my friends laugh all the time because again, it's the generational like
Yeah.
gap. They don't get a lot of the jokes that we get. Because I showed them a picture of it was I think it was like Cookie Monster holding a gun to someone on a couch in like a busy like living room, holding a gun to their forehead. The face is like, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
funny. It's just no context. It's really
Yeah.
funny. And they're like, I don't get it. Like, why is he holding a gun to her? They always ask, and it's like
They
you
do.
don't.
My parents ask all the time. every time I make a meme, my mom's like, "What does this mean?" I'm like, "Don't even worry about it. Don't worry."
Now going back to the other question I asked, are you thinking are you gonna do like a Karen like arc?
Oh gosh, I probably would not do a Karen arc. I mean, at the end of the day, my main goal, what I am trying to spread and promote on St. Dabbers is truly just love and positivity and just, which I know sounds like really, the fluff, but it is. I want to make people smile. I want to make people feel welcome. I want to make people feel safe. The bummer about that is because of how, like touchy feely everything is these days, that it makes a lot of things off limits. Even though I personally don't find them off limits, I respect that a lot of people in my audience do. I'm even surprised that my 21st century memes are doing as well as they are, like they do as well as they do, because I figured those would be judged. They do get judged every single time I post. When I get 3 or 4 comments of people just being like, um, they say that's not funny, that's not funny. This is literally just bold. This is just bold. This isn't funny. Which whatever. But Karen arc, I don't know. Unless a really good meme comes out with like multiple Karen memes that I could do. I don't know. Maybe Karen dies in a car crash while listening to 6 Easy Cooking Step podcast.
That would actually be really funny. And
That
like
would
you
be
do
funny.
like suburban moms. You like the name, like how they have the Karen, like the where the
Oh
Karen,
yeah,
just
yeah.
all the suburban moms die, and it turns out
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
there's someone behind the curtains, almost like the
Denise,
cartoon
yeah.
one. That would be hilarious.
Oh, you could. That would be good. That would actually be really good.
But
You never know.
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, folks, if that happens, you know where it came from.
And I expect my royalty checks in the mail.
Of course, most definitely. I was gonna fax them actually.
Oh, good. That works too. So honestly, like yeah, like I think anti PC jokes are also funny. Like I have a actually guys, I'm gonna take this just a second to promote my merch. I've got Chase and Show merch, so go check that out. I'm gonna make a promo code. I guess we're gonna continue to do Snazzy 10. If you want to use that, you get 10% off your purchase. At the merch store, which is in the bio. But that was a quick self promo. But I have a T-shirt that says "fuck," just says "fuck" on it. Fuck, and then it's quoted by me, and it's Seth Chasen. And I got a lot of people thought that was so funny. But like I had some people were like, "Why are you doing fuck?" And I'm like, I'm just paying homage to like the word I use the most on the podcast. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and they're like, "Well, it's not funny. It's like inappropriate." I'm like, bro, like, and they're like, "Aren't you worried about little kids saying that?" I'm like, look, the funniest thing ever is little children cussing. Honestly, like you see,
I
like
want them
there's,
to.
I want them to. This is what you gotta say. Teaching the education system. We gotta send our children to school in Seth Chase and the Chase and Show merch. Gotta send them that to school with the fuck on their shirt, and then I mean it solves the problem. Honestly, the younger you learn to cuss, the higher chance you are going to be more mature when you're older. Like almost much, and that's in my view, like in much like in the situation in Europe where you're able
Hmm.
to drink at the age of 16. They're more mature with drinking when they're like 18, 19, 20 than
Yeah,
we are, because our drinking age is 21. We have kids drinking now. I mean, I do it every once in a while, but I mean, we need to be more mature. I feel like, if we have that at a younger age, albeit the side of the benefits
sure,
can maybe outweigh the cost,
sure.
but I feel like we need to send people at a younger age, to school with profanity on their shirts. I mean,
Oh,
that's
I
like
got you. I think there's definitely. It'd be interesting if somebody did a study, because I definitely think there's a point to be made for, or there's a case to be made for exposing people. The younger you're exposed to something, like there's definitely times you should and shouldn't be exposed to things. Obviously, you don't want 2-year-olds knowing about like heroin or whatever.
yeah,
But it's
two-year-old
like,
baby, 2-year-old
yeah,
babies with like heroin needles.
yeah, exactly, exactly. But like but you still, but yeah, there's when people experience things younger, they have a longer time to mature with it. They have a longer time to think about it. I think it's important that you can expose kids to stuff, even like swearing, because I know like my parents like have sworn around me when I was a kid. So long as they guide you properly with the knowledge of it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Same thing goes
Like,
with movies, you know, like you
oh,
see,
true, exactly.
kids watching, like, hell, when kids were in like middle school, they were watching Deadpool. My parents didn't
Mhm.
let me watch it till I was, well, I haven't even watched it yet. I really want
Oh,
to
wow,
watch it,
really? That's my
but
fiance's favorite movies.
because I've watched since being kind of more independent by myself. Now I'm able to watch whatever the fuck I want. But
Hmm.
I remember specifically, there's the Starving Games, like the parody that was made of the
Yep, yep,
Hunger
yep. I
Games.
know that one. Yep,
So the scene with the cheerleaders.
yep.
So my parents made us cover our eyes, and my brother obviously, he was like, God, how long ago did that movie come out? That was forever ago, but like, I think I was close to like 13 or whatever.
Hmm.
But they made me cover my eyes, and I feel like maybe if they would have allowed me to watch some of those more adult content,
Hmm.
then I would be more mature with it.
Sure,
Because
sure.
I just got finished watching Mr. Robot last night. I don't know if you've seen that TV show, but it's a very
Oh
very good
yeah,
show. It's
oh
got
yeah,
Rami
oh
Malek.
yeah.
I just finished the show last night, and I'm like, wow, like I wish I watched this earlier because one, I'd be able to talk about it more. I'd be able to tell people about it. A couple of my friends have watched it, and a lot of the themes in that show are kind of adult,
Yeah.
and it's
Oh,
definitely
definitely.
not
Yeah.
definitely not for kids. But it's a very good show, and I feel like albeit it's a very entertaining show. It also shows kind of like what life will for some people is like, and it gives a different perspective, and also it adds to not like judging people less, right? Because
Yeah,
Elliot, he's a
definitely.
drug addict, he's a hacker, pretty badass at hacker though, but he's got MPS, multiple personality syndrome. I think that's, or is it whatever the more PC term is today? Because I know
Mhm.
schizophrenia, people don't like that word.
Yeah.
Fuck, I saw a post. I forgot who it was from, but someone had made fun of it. I think it might have been DC Drano made a joke about how people like someone changed. You're not allowed to say schizophrenic. It's crazy, nuts, schizophrenic or whatever. And like they used it in a sentence like, "Oh, that movie was schizophrenic." It's like, when the hell do you use schizophrenic in that context?
I don't know.
Like,
You're just making stuff up just so that you can call it out.
exactly, and it doesn't make any sense. Like a lot of movies are kind of like pushing the limits. Like there was one that I watched. It was fuck. It was awful. Like the is that a word? Graphicity? Like the graphicness. I forgot what movie it was, but it was very, very graphic, very, very violent, very, very dirty. And it was a very good film though, but it was just
Mm.
like people could easily get offended by that. And then going back to our point where some people get offended over like stuff they can rally behind. Like no one got
Yes.
offended by that movie to my
No.
knowledge. But a lot of films teach us some older concepts, and I think it's good doing it at a younger age. I feel like it's more beneficial, and
Mhm.
especially with our favorite movies like Avengers. Avengers has become more kind of adult. It used to be more kind of kids oriented, but now it's
Yep.
going more adult. Like they're doing, they released like a whole bunch of new films. They're coming out in TV
Mhm.
shows. Um, God, what was Doctor Strange is now going to be a horror film,
Yes. Yeah. The
and
multiverse
which
of madness or something.
yeah, and I'm actually really excited for that. I'm not a big horror guy, but I feel like that'll be definitely a different step for MCU. And I know we
Hmm.
kind of went on a tangent here, but now we're
No,
talking
you're.
about film. But
Yeah.
like I feel like a lot of lessons can be taught from more mature um, content. I should say
Yes.
that's where I was going with that. When all up, round, down, left, right, center, on that one.
No, I 100% agree. You can't just baby proof your kid. You can't just I mean, you can try as much as you want to keep them away from anything rude, offensive, or graphic, but at the end of the day, what would you rather have? Would you rather have your kid find out on the field or in the field on the job? Or would you rather have your kid find out behind closed doors, you and him being able, or you and her being able to like go over it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
This is
mean,
the reality of this. People use these words. Yeah, I'm sorry I got mad. I said it. Obviously, I don't want you going out and saying 24/7 because it's a negative context word. That being said, you're not a bad person if it comes out of your
yeah.
mouth.
I mean, my vocabulary like my parents has gotten so bad over the last couple months that my parents are considering doing a swear jar, and I'm like, no, you're not doing a swear jar. I keep on pulling the excuse that they taxation is theft and they can't tax my freedom of speech. They do not like. Oh, you live in my house, so I can tax your freedom of speech. And I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
bullshit. Like that's not gonna happen, chief. And I think it's funny. Like I keep on like. Fuck, my brother and I, we will, again, just much like my friends, we will verbally abuse each other on a daily basis. But that's because we're
Hmm.
brothers. And he's 16, I'm 19, and we like fuck the amount of if my parents heard what we called each other, and I think they do sometimes. Oh my god, I'd be grounded.
Oh yeah.
And even at the age of 19, I'd be grounded.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think. Um, I couldn't swear around my parents to this day. They're Christian day school teachers.
Oh
So they're used to talking, with 5-year-olds. So they try and keep their brains in that realm.
yeah, I mean that's understandable because you don't want to say like, you know,
Hmm.
fuck you, little Timmy, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like for breaking the rules or whatever. 'Cause
No.
and
It's
guys,
it's
I'm sorry if you are hearing sirens. They're doing in my hometown they're doing the Santa. He's going on the
oh
fire
fun.
truck and he's coming around. So if you guys hear that in the background, just never mind. I'm not getting arrested for tax evasion. So yeah, we're all good.
Not this episode.
Not this episode. That's maybe later.
That'll
I'll
be
teach you
coming
guys how to
sometime
do tax
soon.
evasion. And hey, we can do tax evasion this episode because that was a theme of one of your, the brewery thing where the tax evasion. That was a whole big
Oh
thing for a
yeah,
while.
yeah, no taxes. Yeah, I don't even know why I said that. I think I was in a group chat with a bunch of people and I said, "This is Brewy. He's our new mascot." And they're
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Okay."
I was in that group chat for a while. And
Oh, you were
I
good, good,
think so.
good.
Yeah, and I don't remember I don't remember if I got kicked or if because I think I was inactive for a while because
The Brewy one, I got kicked from
the
too.
brewery gang really they kicked
Brewy
you
gang,
from the
yeah,
brewery
they
gang.
they add me in every now and then because I just don't talk in it, and they always they kick people who don't talk, but they're still a thing.
Really?
Yeah,
That was
every joke.
almost that was almost a year ago,
I know.
right?
Yeah, the National Brewy Day, I forget when it is. It's a certain day.
Because I know I saw you posted brewery on your story the other day.
Hmm. Oh yeah,
Which is definitely I actually still have that on in my phone.
I
Which
love Brewy. It's a
brewery
great
is
mixture.
so for those of you who don't know, brewery is Brian and Stewie combined. Basically, Stewie with the face of Brian.
Hmm.
And honestly, Family Guy. Family Guy is a great show to get hooked on as a child.
Yes, it is.
Though the content is again adult, but it's still a very funny show. I've seen some episodes here and there, but I haven't actually sat down and watched
Hmm.
multiple episodes. I need to. That's a show I need to, and I think a lot of people need to watch.
Hmm.
'Cause they're
It's
just not
definitely.
afraid.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead. I was just adding on.
No, I was saying my roommate and I have been watching a lot more Family Guy lately. That's just such a fun. It's a fun show to revisit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm then again I don't really feel like spending money. Uh,
Yeah.
that's definitely I'll probably pirate it off of YouTube because that's what my friend has watched almost the entire series pirated off YouTube somehow. I don't
Oh
know how.
wow, dude,
Um,
you can find so many things on YouTube. It's crazy.
yeah, honestly, YouTube is for as sensitive is that a word? For as much as it loves to censor and as much as it loves to
Yeah.
take shit down, I'm surprised a lot of those videos are able even still up. If they're
Oh yeah,
taking
me too.
like
It's
hell.
crazy, man.
I made a promo vid um for my merch. Like I play one of my favorite songs, "Carry On" by The Score, featuring AWOL Nation,
Oh wow, definitely
and
great song.
it's a great song. And I again, yeah, I gave credit though, but they try to take it down. I'm like, look, this is just I'm not using it to make money. You can demonetize it. I don't care. I'm not gonna be making money on it anyway. I've only got like
Yeah.
probably 150 subs. Like I don't really do this for money.
Yeah.
I just put shit on. I honestly I haven't posted on YouTube in a while because again, social media is very very toxic, and I post a
Oh
lot.
yeah.
Lately, I've been posting a lot more kind of. I go we go to abandoned place with my friend,
Oh
and
cool.
which is so much fun. I have a lot of stories of that, but I edit those videos. I post them. I haven't posted in probably like 6 months. Like I
Oh
posted
wow.
a while ago. I made a short film that actually on the 1st of December was turned 1 year old,
Hmm.
which it doesn't even feel like a year ago. But basically, it's
Yeah.
it was a horror sketch, and if I would have waited and I would have filmed it and then kind of waited on it and learned actually some editing techniques, it'd be so much better.
Oh
but
yeah.
like the editing is so horrible. It's so cringe to see the editing. It's like I didn't know how to do like the like I'm a very like when it comes to video editing, I'll just throw it into video editor and just put
Sure.
I'll just put this stuff together, kind of clip it down
Sure.
a bit. And like I just put a demon, like like it was called possession. So it was like a the guys were getting possessed.
Yeah.
So I would put a demon when like I was supposed to glitch and I didn't know how to glitch. And it looks bad, and like people were like, what's with the devil?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry, that was like supposed to be like a glitch, but like
Yeah.
it didn't come off as a glitch." And I'm like, "Shit,"
Oh, that's funny.
because I put it through iMovie and then I put it through video editor, and the quality of the video got so fucked up. It was shot on it was shot on an XR, so it should have been
Oh wow.
pristine quality, and
Hmm.
then it just, I mean, I honestly low key want to like remaster it and do like maybe after do it then next year remaster it and then come back with say, hey, look, this is a new remastered version. Here's some clips
Oh
that were cut
yeah.
out. Maybe make it a little longer.
Sure. Sure.
Add some things, add some context to it because it was basically the premise was a couple friends go camping, they find a knife, they touch the knife that had blood on it.
Hmm.
One guy becomes possessed, he gets a pentagram on his forehead and shit,
Oh wow.
and shit went down quick. And basically one by one they all get picked off by the demon and they're all possessed. And I
Hmm.
actually had written a sequel to it, never came to fruition. That it was supposed to be a trilogy, and that those never came to fruition.
Hmm.
But basically, it was all improv. The
Oh
actors
wow.
that I had do it, I was just the director, and I kind
Hmm.
of like watched everyone do it. They did a great job with it, and it was all improv. And that was one of the
Wow.
things that I got a lot of praise for. And you should get into because you obviously like editing. You should get into like maybe editing videos and do like actually like YouTube and make a separate thing other than memes because
Hmm.
a lot of people enjoy your memes, but I think it would be cool if you did some other things too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
No,
so
I've always wanted to do video editing. I've always wanted to put up an ad on. There's certain websites you can put up an ad and like say your rates and what you can do. Yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
yeah, I mean, because I'm a horrible, horrible, horrible video editor.
Oh yeah.
Like the closest thing that I got to like a masterpiece
Hmm.
was when I did my again another promo for my merch. It was basically I drove to my I live in Maryland, so there's
Oh
my
okay.
town. They have a parking garage. So I went on the top of the parking garage. I set my camera up on my car because I didn't have a big tripod.
Hmm.
Where's my camera? It's somewhere around here. It's somewhere in this shit show of a room. But it's literally like, oh, there it is. There we go. But yeah, so I have this small tripod here, and those of you on the pod listening on Anchors, wherever you're listening to the podcast, I have this. So I sat that up in my car, and I opened it, and I was basically walking. I just was in a suit almost. I'm walking towards the camera, and I did a cool trick where I had taken all my sunglasses, and as I was walking, it switched to like a normal. It was like originally like an ink kind of like filter to it, and then
Hmm.
boom, and then went to like the normal thing. I thought it was so cool. I did it in slow motion and everything, and it was that was the closest I came to a masterpiece.
Hmm.
I can't replicate it because I'm like because it just looks dumb if I do the same thing over and over again.
Sure. Sure. You can always reuse techniques though.
Yeah, that is true. Because like honestly, I'm low budget, so I just throw my shit into like
Sure.
I want to get Premiere because I want to start actually getting into editing, but like
Yeah. Why not? Right? Wouldn't hurt.
yeah, I mean, because I can edit photos like as you saw on the Chase and Show logo
Hmm.
thing. That I actually worked on the new one for next season. So I believe this is episode 6. I think
Oh, awesome.
episode 6 of season 2. But yeah, no, like honestly, and you should do you mentioned you did a podcast too, correct?
Yeah, I've done a few. I did when I first visited that podcast with a friend called Pete and Adrian, we made 2 episodes. We played instead of playing F Mary Kill, we played Respect, Marry, and Value from a Distance because we didn't want to be offensive, which we
Yeah.
thought was hilarious. So we play a few games of Respect, Marry, Value from a Distance, and then we also did movie ratings. And then now my friend who is a mass comm major at the same college I go to, he has to do a podcast every week for an assignment, and so we watch movies Friday, Saturday. We had to go see something new, or we watch like a show, or we watch a series, and then we review it. So
That's actually pretty cool.
yeah, so we're into reviewing. We do that. I do that every Tuesday. So yeah.
Yeah, so there's a podcast of just someone I went to high school with, and
Hmm.
it's called is it Hear No See No Movie, I think, and
Oh
basically
yeah.
I haven't listened
Hear
to the
no evil, see no
podcast.
evil.
I think much like that, but it was like Sino because it was about
Oh, the
film,
name
so
of
they're
the
talking about
podcast.
film, yeah. They're talking
Gotcha.
about film, and they watch a movie and they kind of I'm assuming they review it. I haven't
Hmm.
listened to it. I just haven't had time. Um, but like I that's actually like a really cool concept, like watching the movie and then reviewing it because that
Hmm.
actually gives purpose and direction. Like I usually do like a Joe Rogan style where I'm like I just talk and we have a free flowing conversation, and
Hmm.
that's why I love to just talk.
Yeah.
I can like I had one of my buddies on who's a YouTuber. He has a 2.7 or 2.7 or actually I think he might have almost 4K now on YouTube. And he we talked hockey for like God knows. I think it was like almost an hour and 45 minutes. We talked hockey. I no
Wow.
preparation. And because I'm a big hockey guy. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a
What's
big
your
I
favorite
love
team?
sport Penguins.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Do you follow hockey at all?
I don't. I lived in Colorado for a while. I used to watch the
Oh.
Avalanche every now and then, but yeah.
Did you hear what their new arena name is?
No.
Ball Arena.
Really?
Yeah, like people like it was people were making so many jokes about it. And, like
That is so funny.
that is because I forgot it was like Pepsi Arena or whatever. It
Yeah, it
used
was
to
a
be Pepsi
Pepsi
Arena.
Center. Yeah, I played basketball there.
Really?
Yeah, my high school did some tournament there. Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, the closest I've been to skating all not the I'd say I wouldn't say the closest, but I actually skated on the Flyers. Flyers ice when I was younger. I hate the
Oh,
Flyers.
cool.
But yeah, I skated there when I used to play hockey. I can't play anymore. Too many concussions.
Oh, sure,
A
sure.
little slow up in here, so and even still so. But yeah, no, honestly, I like yeah, I mean, I miss it. I really do.
Yeah.
But again, now I get to value from a distance
Yeah,
hockey.
exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, I know we kind of got off track from this, but what do you see your future of St. Davers? Like, what do you see in the future of it?
Oh gosh. Honestly, well, for anyone listening, who doesn't know this, I am a music education major. So in a year and a half, I'm gonna already like have my own classroom, be teaching kids. So either in the next year and a half, something big happens and I'm able to make a career out of St. Dabbers, making more videos, or I'll probably just lay it to rest and then and pass it on to a successor, something like that. So I'm really not sure. I love movies and I love podcasts. I might in the next year switch over to something that's more podcast like. So, but even then, it's like it's really hard to switch a fan base. It's
Yeah, it
really
really
hard.
is because
So,
once you set yourself in stone and what you are as a creator, it's hard to kind of change. Like for example, I actually came across Jeremy Renner's music, and I didn't know he was a musician. He's
oh yeah,
actually fucking good. Like
yeah,
and I'm like holy shit. Like I texted my friend like holy shit, Jeremy Renner's like an actual like music artist. I was
yeah.
like, "What? No way. He's got like I think I saw like Jeremy Renner has almost like probably I think it's 100,000 listens that are like monthly
Wow.
listeners, but just small for someone his size. And
Hmm.
normally you think that someone who's a huge A-list movie star like that would they would know people would know more about it, but
Oh yeah,
apparently not. It's
yeah.
actually really good though. He can
Hmm.
actually sing.
Really? I
Yeah,
think
I
I've
mean,
heard one song by him.
because I know he for the movie fuck was it Tag. He sung him and then the cast sung at the end of the film. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he sung it was him and the rest of the cast that had sang that I forgot what song it was at the end of the
Hmm.
thing. And I'm like, "Oh my god, that guy can actually sing."
He's got pipes.
Yeah, he does. He's a great actor. I love that movie. That was so funny. Like the
Oh
concept
yeah.
of it. Just the concept of it is
It's a
like
true story.
yeah, and it's like it's just so simple and it's just like wow, that's actually really funny that they actually like play tag even as adults and they're going through all these action sequences. I don't know if the action sequences are actually like real, but
Hmm.
like the fact that they went to that length and like just
Mhm.
the to overplay it, it's so funny.
Oh, it's
Especially the
awesome.
scene when he's locked in I think it was like AA or whatever, and
Yeah.
he, like they put mouse traps all over the place, and he's trying to run all over the place. He tries to get out and hits the guy in the face with the I think it was a fire extinguisher or whatever.
Yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
they overplay it so much. It's such a great film. I think there are a lot of like underrated films, honestly,
Mhm.
and just like I don't think that one gets enough recognition. Like that should get an award. It's such a
Yeah.
great
No,
film.
that's a really good one.
It seems that all like true story films are just awful. Like everyone dies.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is though. Like just why do you want to
That's a
see
good point.
so?
They do always die, don't they?
Yeah, it's really annoying. It's like why not make a film about something happy like the fucking like the movie The Dog's Purpose, right? That wasn't a true story, but like oh my god, the dog just dying every five
Oh, I
seconds.
remember that movie. Oh
I
yeah.
I nearly so there was the one that was like the dog's journey home or whatever.
Mhm.
That one got me. Like I was fine
Oh.
during Dog's Purpose. But
Mhm.
Dog's Journey Home got me because the dog is missing for like 2 years, and I'm like, oh my
Oh.
god, like it's lost in the wild. And it's captured by a homeless dude, and then the homeless dude
Mhm.
dies, and then the dog's left to starve for a little bit, and until kids find him, the dog runs away. He finds a couple with another dog, and then he runs away from them, or she runs away from them. It's oh my god, like oh my god, like that like they almost expect us to be like they think we're suckers and we are
Yep.
suckers like we will pay to see this awful shit like movies that are just so sad for no reason too
Yeah, for no reason.
and like if even if you make a joke about it and then it kind of goes back to our old point if you make a joke about it you're automatically an awful person.
Oh yeah, like yeah, it's ridiculous.
People are too soft these days honestly like I would I my grandparents, like, I love The Impractical Joker, it's such a great show. My
Mhm.
grandmother doesn't like it because they made an offensive comment to a woman, yet you should hear the jokes that she makes about Indian people. Like,
What?
I'm like, "Mom, you cannot, take offense to something that they make a joke," like, I think the comment was like, "Would you have sex with me?" or something. They're getting the guys to say shit to embarrass themselves, like, it's not they're not actually doing it to be actually offensive, like,
Dude,
it's a
it's ridiculous. You
joke.
know, they say the saying, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's ridiculous because instead of people like, I love that saying because it shows that you have power to turn whatever you hear or see as good. You know, it's in the eye of the beholder. We live in a world now where negativity is in the eye of the beholder.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get to make whatever you want negative. That's so funny that yeah, no, there's so many people, there are a lot of people like that though. It's, one thing's funny and one thing's off limits.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Like honestly, I wish everything were either if I wish we had strict guidelines. Everything's off limits, or just like make jokes about what the fuck you want.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like it's like I think it's funny to like just make jokes about just like stupid shit, like things
Mhm.
that you probably shouldn't joke about. Like I'm sure you've heard the good old 9/11 jokes, like the Buzz Lightyear. We're not aiming for the truck, and they hit the twin towers, and
Oh, I've
like
seen that one.
like everyone's seen that. There's a lot of it's kind of right down the middle. Either you're offended by it or it's funny as shit.
Yeah,
Like
either you, yeah.
and like I feel like that edgy kind of comedy. I wish we could bring that back. Like that needs to be something that edgy comedy needs to be held up on a pedestal because that's disappearing. Like and like
Just
we
the
said earlier.
idea. I think just it's important that I think it's important to just make sure that people understand that just because they don't find something funny doesn't mean that it needs to be labeled as like disgusting or
Yeah,
illegal.
like because you know like edgy comedy. Like you have the old Filthy Frank, right? Filthy Frank. He now Joji.
Yeah.
A lot of those people, I bet you, if they found who Joji was before he was a singer,
Oh yeah.
holy shit, they would have a cow.
Oh yeah.
I think some people already did, and they had already
Hmm.
had a cow. But like that kind of stuff is funny. Like throwing beer bottles at people, throwing just shaving your friend's hair, getting all types of hair, putting it in a cake, baking it up and making your
Oh,
friends
human
eat it.
cake. Oh yeah.
That shit is so funny. Then they're
Hmm.
getting basically flat out drunk on camera and just
Hmm.
dicking around. The what's the one? It was Max Mofo, iDubbbz, and Filthy Frank, and they Max Mofo was the woman, and they had it was
I
like
know
gentleman
exactly.
games or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like shit like that. That's funny. That's like Nelk Boys. That is funny. Like,
Oh yeah.
I wish we had more people like the Nelk Boys. They're badass. Like
They're
getting
pretty fun.
drunk, like, oh my god, they're probably one of the best YouTubers out there right now. Even though they're being censored by YouTube and like
I really haven't been
demonetized.
watching them that much. I should watch them more, huh?
Yeah, you should.
Hmm.
Like, I don't think they posted in a bit. Like, they had I think they're doing more now doing like Twitch streaming. I don't know if they're
It
just
makes
stopped
sense. I
uploading
probably would too.
because Twitch is actually where the money is. Like a buddy of
Oh
mine,
yeah.
and for those of you who don't know, Jay Miller, who also was on the show, is a Twitch streamer. But
Mhm.
he's already his business is booming. He's an actor. He wants to be an actor when he grows up.
Mhm.
So he's doing that to kind of help promote his business. I feel like Twitch is a good way to build a business because once people can see and interact with you live, like, and
Oh yeah.
that's something that I want to end up trying to potentially do with a podcast. Like, I think it would be cool to
Oh
just do a
yeah.
Twitch
Yeah. You'd be
podcast
great at that.
and do like just be live and almost like almost like a radio, but with obviously the camera. And I
Hmm.
think it's a great way to build a brand. It's a great way to do that. And with a lot of artists, you'll see them just playing games like Jack Black. You see him having the was it Jablinski games or something.
Yeah.
He's actually a lot more talented than I thought. Like originally held him for. I knew he was a good actor, but like
Oh yeah.
he has he can sing. He plays that
band,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, he plays that one like weird instrument that he would throw.
The didgeridoo.
Yeah, the didgeridoo.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more like talented than I actually gave him credit for originally. But he
Mhm.
kind of is annoying. Like that video of him doing the WAP dance, I wanted to bleach my eyes. I'm like, dude, what
Yeah,
the
that
fuck?
was weird.
That I opened up Instagram, right? I opened up. That was the first video I saw. I'm like, okay, what is Jack Black doing today? And then all I hear is the Cardi B song. I'm like, I wanted to bang my head against the
You're like,
closest
oh
thing. I'm like,
no.
oh no, just like, no, take off. Don't take off the speedo. Put more clothes on. Like, oh no, just like, oh my god, dude. Like, I think a lot of people like dripping water all over myself. Oh my god, it's almost like I pissed my pants.
There
It's
you
bad.
go.
Hey guys, yeah, I gotta take a quick bathroom break. But yeah, no, honestly, I feel like a lot of people, and kind of going along with the building the brand type thing. A lot of people are going to alternative media platforms to obviously with me the podcast. Like
Yep.
this isn't the main thing. This is like now this becoming my main thing. But like
Hmm.
I really obviously don't have like a brand or you know I want to say I want to say I don't want to say like
Mhm.
influencership, but I have like this is something I do for fun and this is becoming more of a main thing, right? And I
Sure.
feel like I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Holy shit, that work is taking a lot out of me today,
You're
man.
good. You're good.
But yeah, no, that was my TED talk. So yeah, no, again about like St. Davers, like you mentioned you were working on that for 6 years. When did you start seeing the real growth?
Wow. Yeah. 6 years. I started to see some real growth. My freshman year at college to sophomore year, I went from like 10,000 followers to 50 in the course of, you know, I think it was like 6 or 7 months. It was a really good time for memes. It was honestly like the best time memes have ever been. It's just been downhill since then.
Oh yeah,
Um, yeah, memes are just not doing it right now anymore. I mean, you
yeah,
got TikTok where you don't have to follow anybody. TikTok create your own playlist for you. You know what I mean?
yeah. And which I think is both a blessing and a curse because
Yeah, definitely.
obviously it allows the Chinese government to get into your but I mean I guess it's awesome to see like more personalized stuff so you don't get, and I guess another goes back on like being offended by things,
Hmm.
shows you things that you're not probably going to be offended by, and things that are kind of like more geared towards you yourself and your
Yeah.
interests, so you don't see things that will piss you off. And that's probably why my videos, the offensive like private story names did so well, is because that wasn't being shown to people who are going to be offended by it.
Oh,
The minute I posted that other video, oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about getting into like doing TikTok, like doing more TikToks because I know you said you did have one, but like doing just kind of posting more, like making it your alternative platform almost,
I
and
don't
posting
know,
stuff that you
man.
post on Instagram on TikTok.
I honestly, I don't know. the social media today is just not what I want it to be. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
The
mean,
more
social media is awful.
every single time I go on my computer or my phone, I get more irritated than I get happy like I used to. So
Yeah, no, honestly, I follow too many like political shit on Instagram, and especially on my main one. I'm thinking about honestly like making a separate Instagram where I just follow that stuff, but then I have like my main Insta where I just like see my friends because I barely see my friends' posts anymore. All I see is politics, and all I see
Mhm.
is like memes and stuff. It's not any of my friends posting. And also,
Yep.
it'll be every once in a while here and there,
Yeah.
but way I see my internet connection is unstable. Fucking hell. Oh, it's gone now. Okay. But yeah, no, I gotta pop up on my my laptop there. I
Oh,
did.
that's fun.
Yeah, no, dude, my laptop has been a pain in my ass. I had to. I know, like, and now I'm completely changing directions there, but I had gotten a new laptop. Just got a new laptop, probably closer to last week,
Hmm.
and because my old laptop, it's already had problems before that. The battery, if it's not one thing, that's another.
Hmm.
Eventually, the Wi-Fi driver just decided to head out,
Really?
and oh my god, it was like I'm like, where the fuck's my Wi-Fi? Because I had to update the driver or update the laptop, and it just disappeared. And
What?
for 2 days, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on, and then I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to Best Buy see if they can fix it. They just
Hmm.
send it out, and when they sent it out, they didn't add any of the other things that I told them to add. So the battery, the headphone jack, the USB port.
Oh.
There's another problem with it. I can't remember. And then they're like, oh yeah, that it was gone for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, I'm using this POS. I was using this POS like Windows 8 laptop, and
Hmm.
I can't when it's so slow. I can't do my homework. It's hard. And then
Hmm.
eventually I got this one. They're like, yeah, we'll give you the credit towards getting a new laptop. I'm like, thank you. Of when finals week is coming up, and I've got finals out the wazoo where oh my
Yeah.
god, finals week was stressful this year. Really was.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Mine was ridiculous.
how did you deal with the online learning?
I dealt with online learning pretty fine. I mean, I don't know. I was hybrid, so I live about 20 minutes from my college, so I went a couple days a week. I was able to meet with professors, which kept me motivated. I hated it. Like I would always choose to either like to be in person, but
Yeah.
I think other people have had it worse than me, so I don't like have much room to complain. How about you? Was it okay for you?
So for me, I did two classes that actually had like Microsoft Teams meetings, and
Hmm.
that was like one kind of went from like twice a week to like once a week. Then we kind of stopped meeting. Then we came back. Math was definitely the hardest one for me. I took stat this year.
Hmm.
It was I ended up failing stat. I got a 65 in the
Really?
class, and
Yeah.
I had gotten a 35 out of 100 on the final test. And then we had to do a project, and I got like 89 out of 100 on that. So
Mm,
that that didn't help at all. If I
yeah.
did any better on that final test, if I probably got like a 60 or 70 on that final exam, I would have passed the class. But of course, now I got to pay the extra, 200 or whatever dollars it
Yup.
was to take the class again. And I mean,
Yup.
it's only community college, so it's not the end of the world. But
Sure.
I had audio production, which is actually one of my favorite classes. Like,
Oh, good.
I got to
I'm
put
glad you liked it.
I put all these edits together. I was using Reaper, and it was hard to learn at first, but then it was like,
Hmm.
okay, this is actually easy because I made like we had to do an audio story where I actually might just I'll try to send it to you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so basically, the premise was my character. He was working at an office, and it was like a Google call center or whatever. And you guys a call, and there's like someone talking like real fast. I'm gonna use the audio from like the Charlie Brown, like the wah, 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 wah. Like I
Oh
use that
yeah.
sound effect as the guy or person on the phone, and even it gets to the point where he shoots himself.
Oh
Which
wow.
yeah, so basically the end is, what, why do I do this to myself? And I actually grab my pencil holder thingy mabobber, like with all the
Mhm.
things that's in the corner of my desk, but it was actually right in front of me. So I grabbed it, I shook it right in front of the mic, and then I played a gunshot sound effect, and I went like on the desk,
Yeah.
so it sounded like the head is hitting the desk, and everything just
Yeah.
went silent. And my teacher, couple of days later, after I turned it in, posted on the reminders section on on Blackboard, which was what we used for school,
Yeah,
and it was
same.
about suicide prevention. And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
I even
wow.
I flat out told him, like, look, I'm not contemplating suicide. Like, this is just a joke. Like, I've got a very dark, edgy sense of humor. And
Mhm.
he didn't respond to that, but like, I think it was kind of directed at me
Sure.
because I have made a lot of like bad jokes in class that definitely probably left teachers wondering what the fuck is going on in this kid's head.
Oh, you're like, what?
Yeah, because audio production, like my teacher was so chill. Like he was awesome. And like I was new at like editing, really like audio editing. And it was actually a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. We listened to everyone else's projects. It was actually really cool. Really
Good, good.
cool. But yeah, no, honestly, if you ever have the chance to take it, I would take it. It's so much fun.
Definitely. Yeah,
It
definitely.
it definitely teaches you, and it definitely will help with making them like the audio memes because
Yeah, yeah.
you can just throw all these sound effects together
Hmm.
and you know beat the BBC has a huge that right off the bat sounds wrong, but the BBC library, they have all these sound effects that you can do, and
Oh, awesome.
so you can just download them for free. And they have like radio, they have like gunshots, they have like conversations, they have like computer, they have all these noises that you can download.
Oh,
That's actually
wow.
really cool. Like, and
That's really nice.
yeah, I mean, if also you just look at BBC sound effect library, you just download it onto your laptop from there for
Oh,
free.
awesome.
So yeah, if that helps with your memes at all, like go ahead and do that because
Yeah, definitely.
especially with if you decide to do the car crash memes again, you have more
Yeah.
audio sound bites to pull from.
Hmm.
Man, that even looking back on it, that was so funny. The car crash ones, like just every time I would laugh my ass off because it's like
Oh,
people don't really do that. Like people don't really put like people dying and making jokes about like cartoon characters dying. What you should have done was
yeah.
the Ice Age baby. You
There's
should
a
have done the
lot of.
Ice Age baby that like
Oh, I
dies in
should
car.
have. Yeah, if I did the Ice Age Baby, it would have been fine.
It would have been perfectly fine if did anyone get offended by those? That
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I had a really famous YouTuber named I'm Dante. I don't know
I
if
haven't
you
heard
heard
of
of him.
them. I might have, but
Let me open up Google real quick. I'm Dante. He's at he. Oh, that's not him. Oh, it's I'm Dante with an A. He's at like 2 million.
damn.
Huge. Yeah, he posted a video called "The Funniest Memes I've Ever Seen," and it was just him reacting to all my car crash memes.
Hell yeah.
No, here's the thing. He got well, so much. Usually out of 100 people, there's one that right, and he got so much hit that he had to take it down. So
Oh damn.
I messaged him like, "Thanks so much for posting." He was like, "Of course, it's hilarious," and then he took it down because he got
Oh,
really mad. So
that sucks.
yeah, it is what it is.
Do you have any other like big commenter or big like people commenting on your post or liking your posts?
Not commenting or liking, but my memes have been on PewDiePie's meme review.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Holy shit! What video? I gotta check that out.
Twice. He did. If you go to my Instagram and you go to my I have donations and legendary. Here, one time, make sure I got it.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, if you go to legendary, it's all the different times that like legendary things have happened. So like this is the one time PewDiePie reacted to one of my memes.
Physically unable to speak straight facts. You gotta acknowledge that he's spitting facts.
So he's done that twice now. So yeah, that's really cool of him.
That dude, honestly, meme review is like an underrated show on.
Oh, definitely,
Dude,
definitely.
I'm actually surprised he's not getting like because he's now has what 103 million. I think?
Something crazy, yeah.
Something crazy, and I'm surprised he doesn't get the amount of like. I wonder if it's just a whole bunch of people like subscribe to him from different channels to get him to 100 million.
True.
But I remember like I started watching him. God, I'm one of those 19-year-olds that he keeps on referring to. Probably since 2013, I think.
Oh wow.
So I've been here there a while. Right? Because I was no, it might have been like 2015 actually. Because I
Oh
actually
sure.
had started to get a phone then. Like I got my first phone when I was 15. I'm
Okay.
kind of upset that I didn't get it earlier, but that's my parents' decision. Again, that goes back to our conversation where trust and being able to be mature with phones. But then again, I mean, it's their decision, so
Yeah.
probably best because I usually I used to sneak my phone in my room. They used to make me keep my phone downstairs so I didn't sneak it
Oh
upstairs,
yeah.
which was asinine. And once I bought my own phone, they're like, yeah, they don't like care at this point. And
Mhm.
the thing pisses me off about my brother is that they didn't like when I came back from college, like they didn't take my phone away. Like they would never take my phone away. That since
Oh
I'm like
really?
more independent now.
Mhm.
But he was 16 having his or 15 having his phone in his room. Like, bro, like you couldn't have done that. You couldn't have been that cool when I'm like 15, like or I was 15. Like,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like, yeah, this for the first phone at the age of. Actually, no, I had my first phone when I was 14. It was my 14th birthday. My brother had it at like the age of
That's
like
when I got
11.
mine.
Yeah, because like honestly, I feel like it was cool to like get my phone a little later, but like at the same time, it kind of put me back a bit because I wasn't able to talk to people as much, and
Mhm.
I wasn't able to like it would always be the home phone, and people don't really want to call the home phone; they want to be able to text. Text is more popular now,
Mhm.
and sending memes obviously is another way people communicate. I feel like that honestly is going to be the way we communicate in the future. Like
Yeah.
people joke about it, but I honestly think memes are going to take over a big part of our lives because they already are. They've evolved from the old just like top text bottom text to now more like video and
Yeah.
audio. And do you think that that's going to be like something that we lean on in the future, like memes in the future?
I have no clue. Maybe like use them for like more forms of communication.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know.
because I feel like a lot of people can convey and they can now it's more accessible to be able to make memes now because of all the new apps coming out.
Mhm.
People being better at video editing or audio editing and
Yeah.
that stuff. And
Yeah.
like honestly, I feel like that's gonna be something in the future that
Yeah.
we're going to rely on. I think it's be
Mhm.
a lot more popular than it is now because now it's more kind of like edgy, kind of like more you see more edgy memes nowadays,
Yeah.
and I feel like it's gonna kind of maybe
TikTok can be edgy, bro.
oh again
I've
TikTok, like some of the shit that I've seen on TikTok, like
I know.
the fact that like some of that shit doesn't go against the community guidelines, which
I
the community
know.
guidelines are bullshit anyway. Even on Instagram. And I know you've had your fair share of community guideline shit, right?
Yeah, I had it with YouTube. They demonetized me.
Oh damn, that's dumb.
Yeah, it was dumb.
YouTube is I think one of the platforms that's the worst with demonetizing and like um silencing people because
Yes.
obviously you see with like Alex Jones being the most famous example. He's kind of erratic, but he's funny. But
Oh yeah.
a lot of people and me included enjoy watching him because he knows what he's talking about. He does his research. A lot of the things he says can be loony and can be like
Mhm.
hard to believe, but when he backs it up with fact, like people don't want to hear fact anymore.
Mhm.
And people want to live as you said in that fairy tale bubble. I think a lot of people um, you know, they don't realize that people get demonetized every day and for stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and for a lot of people, YouTube is their livelihood. YouTube
Oh
is
yeah.
the only way they make money, and I
Yeah.
feel like it's kind of dumb to do that. But like, if you are making like millions of dollars a year,
Mhm.
like that should be something that if you have like 10 million subscribers, like do that for your career. But I
Oh,
feel like people
definitely.
should always have a backup plan.
Oh,
And
of course they should. Definitely, I agree.
yeah, and I just think um, social influencing is coming definitely becoming more accessible because people have phones, people have TikTok, people have YouTube.
Mhm.
I think that's going to be something in the future where that's going to be an actual job. Like now, it's kind of like, oh, he sits in his basement, plays on his laptop all day, and plays games and
Yep.
streams. But people don't realize how hard that is. Like I don't
It
really
is
know how
so
hard that
hard.
is, but like when you've got like a schedule to post, because for you for St. Davers, you post very often, very
Mm.
often.
Yeah.
And like, what? How many times a day do you post?
Right now, I try and post about 5.
So 5 times a day. That's a lot for some people. And going back to your editing schedule. How do you just make it all at one time and then post them the next day, or what do you do
No,
with
I
that?
try and do it. I try and spread each post out with an hour. I post the first one around eight in the morning, like I try, and then depending on how busy I am, I'll get the other five out by afternoon. But sometimes I post into the evening if I don't get them out.
So when you create those posts, do you like create them in between each other, or
Well, right now I'm only doing repost.
okay, yeah, that's right, because you're busy.
Yeah, just because of like finals and that type of stuff. But usually, no, when I'm not doing reposts, I try and post once a day. And so I post a meme and then I'll post a meme in the morning or at night and then make the meme vice versa. So if I post the meme at night, I'll make the next one in the morning, then post it at night. Or if I post it in the morning, I'll make it at night. So like that.
So, I think we're running out of time here. I gotta get some shit done, but
That's okay.
yeah. So, with memes, like, what do you? We talked about the future of St. Davers, but
Mhm.
if you decide to stay with it, something miraculous happens, and guys, please go follow him. I'll post the link. It's simple. STDABBERS. I spelled
Very
that right,
simple.
correct?
Yep, you got it.
And so, what's behind the name? I know that's probably a popular question. What's behind the name?
Oh, very popular question. What's behind the name is this, okay? So I'm a Christian, obviously. That's how I identify, believe in Jesus, right? The word saint itself has different meanings depending on what denomination of Christianity you're in. So, for example, if you're a Catholic, saints are the very important people that the Pope and the papacy deems as like awesome, right?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're a Lutheran, like Martin Luther, you see saints as important believers. That's everyone. That's all believers. So if you're a Christian, you're a saint. I'm a Christian, I'm a saint. So that's where saint comes from. And Dabbers is literally just because I thought it sounded dope.
Yeah,
No
it
other
does sound
reason.
dope.
And dabbing was big. Like dabbing was a big meme when I made the name. So
Yeah. Honestly,
that's
that
behind
died
the name,
off. That
huh?
died. That dabbing died off.
Oh, it died off hard, dude. No one dabs. No one.
I
And when people do it, it's really cringe unless they do it super ironic.
Yeah, like most of the time when I do it, I'll make a bad joke and I'll go dabs ironically
Oh,
instead of
ironic.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like I can't tell you how like I'll make like a really bad. People call me like say like I'm a dad, and
Oh, dad
like
jokes. Yeah.
because I make dad jokes and like people like some people don't find it funny, some people do,
Hmm.
but like
I
I
got
make dad jokes and I'll say like stupid pun and I'll just go dabs ironically,
Hmm.
and you're like, God, you're such a tool bag. Honestly, it's so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I better let you go. I'm getting a
For
little tired.
sure,
I gotta
man.
get stuff done, and we gotta have you on another time. That'd be
Definitely.
awesome.
Anytime, man. It's been a pleasure.
I am still like kind of fanboying out a little bit here.
Oh no, 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 no. We're just two dudes shooting the shit. Good time,
Dude,
man.
shooting the shit. I love that.
Hell yeah.
All right, good. So I better let you go. Thank you guys for listening. Go follow Levi on St. Dabbers, and go follow his personal, which is in the the bio, right? The bio of
Yeah.
his of St. Dabbers. I can't speak. I'm sorry. I'm dead
You're all
inside
good.
and tired. I usually that's what I do, and I'm tired. I'm like, someone's like, "How are you feeling today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm dead inside and tired." It's like that's really like even I actually said that at work today. It's like some woman came over to me, this older lady. She came over to me, like, "How are you doing today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm dead inside and tired." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. That was no. I'm sorry. That was no. Never mind. I said that."
Don't mind.
Yeah, don't remember that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out the merch. 10% off. Use code Snazzy10. I'll do it up to Christmas, so you can get your merch. Thank you guys for tuning in, and tune in next time. I don't know when the next episode is going to be. It's just been a really busy week. But I love you all. Thank you for listening, and good night. Boom. Dabs ironically. There we go. We're done.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so much, man. This is awesome.
dude. I'm so